Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Shelter. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, then you can go to their Patreon, where it's $5 a month. So, on the last Let's Play, we, that being Alon, talked to Burry for a bit. He was trying to learn more about, the world and all that stuff, but Burry was hesitant too because, if things were kept from the prince, then it has to be for a reason or something like that, and he doesn't want to be a bad boy or something. But he did give Alon a book, or the prince, and it was about flowers. He was like, hey, you should look at this section on snowdrops in this book about autumn flowers. Then there was also this guy who was like a Rottweiler who was, rough and gruff and was very interested in the prince and wanted to be the next moon or something like that. And then we had a horrible dream. And then the prince right now was like, snowdrops are not autumn flowers. It's like, and it kind of probably gets the thing where it's like, there's secrets in there. Let's reset face. And boop. Also, is it just me or is it very quiet? I woke up with a scream. A small platoon of guards and caretakers instantly rushed into my chambers, scaring both my physical and emotional safety. It took me a few moments to compose myself, the crowd of people only making it harder for me. I wanted to be left alone, and yet they were all over me. They insisted to know exactly what my dream was about. Sir Healer was particularly annoying with that, since my perfect memory extended to the subconscious as well. One of his many duties was to keep a written record of my dreams. Come to think of it, that must have been how he developed his horrendous style of prose? Huh. Go figure. Dreams are exciting when you experience them, sure, but so painfully boring to listen to. I was too embarrassed to tell him the full truth, so I made something up. One of those common puppy nightmares, anything, just to make them leave. Sorry for interrupting, but I have to know now, what did you consider as a common puppy nightmare? Like being laughed at by the crowds for wearing sapphire-encrusted robes, because your chief tailor didn't get the memo about black opals being trending that season. Stuff like that. Oh, of course. Much worse than nightmares about being laughed at for being naked. Don't make fun of me. I'm not as ignorant anymore. But yes, they actually happened to be in fashion that year, so the people in my room promised a brand new robe by the end of the week, just to make me feel better. Sir Healer offered to stay and watch me sleep, but I asked for everyone to leave me be. The only request I had was for them to let me keep one lit candle, nothing more. So they did exactly that. One after another, each of the guards and caretakers bowed and walked out of the room, finally letting me rest in the quiet once again. I stared at the light of the candle, then at the bookshelf. Painstakingly through a compendium of golden autumn flowers of the crimson royal grove. Snowdrops. I got up from my bed, grabbed a stool, and took the big tome off the big high shelf. I tripped and fell in the process. With all my willpower, I kept my throat and mind silent, not to alarm the guards. I sat down in my bed, the light of the candle illuminating the cover of the boring encyclopedia. Yet, even though I knew what to expect, my hands still trembled in anticipation. The chapter about snowdrops. Was there really a mention of them anywhere in the book? Why did that fat boy mention those flowers in particular? With shaking fingers, I grabbed at the corner of the cover, flipped it over. And, seeing the first page of the book, I gasped so loudly that one of the guards asked through the door if I was okay. It took me some panic reassurances before they reluctantly left me alone once again. Luckily, nobody entered my room. I knew that, despite my heart pounding with more excitement than I've ever felt in my relatively short life, I had to stay quiet. I finally understood why St. Bernard was acting so weird and secretive about it. That book was, in fact, not part of my curriculum. It wasn't a tome about plants either. The cover was one thing, but the very first page showed everything I would have never expected. A weathered illustration painted in golden, yellow, red, black, and green ink. A group of adventurers sitting by the campfire, listening to a song of their bard friend, a German shepherd playing a lute, with a wide smile. I looked at that illustration, almost transfixed. Even with the colors, weathered with age, the characters felt so real to me. I could feel the warmth of the campfire. I could hear the laughter and the song. Suddenly, a teardrop fell onto the page before I realized, so I tried to wipe it off in panic, but I only smudged the ink on the huge, elaborate title letters underneath. The letters, the title of the book. It read, The Peregrination of Noon Moon by B.B. Healer. Huh? Wait, I know that one. Oh, my dog. It's the book you and your brother stole from the library to read in secret when you were little pups, right? And not just a copy. That was the exact same book. That was the only thing I took from my monastery when it was the time to leave for my assignments in the Crimson Royal Grove. I ruined the cover so I could smuggle it for the king, but everything inside, it was the real deal. All of the fables inside. Noon Moon. Indeed. Noon Moon, the German shepherd. The valorous bard, the second moon. And his merry band of racially diverse, equitable, and inclusive companions. It was nothing like I had ever read until that point in my life. My caretakers were always very careful about what to give me to read. Even though I possessed the vocabulary as an adult, they still read me children's stories about taking flowers and sweet innocent puppies and all that crap. Talking flowers and sweet puppies. But the stories of Noon Moon, holy crap, that was the real shit. My big red eyes were glued to the pages as I learned about the monsters, the corrupted borderlands, the cultures of 5 other species, the magic, the treasured artifacts, the terrible town mimics. The great and small battles that not always ended with happy resolutions. It felt like I already knew all those things. After all, I knew the words and the phrases. And yet, those were all just like empty little vessels with no connection to anything of substance until the stories of that book filled them with knowledge. I love those characters. Each of them was truly impressive hero, not like whatever passes as one today. Noon wasn't the strongest, but he was the knot that tied the party together, ooh, often literally, sometimes being the bard, I suppose. Even though he had his flaws, people gravitated towards him, either to his deep red schlong, or his pure shep heart. I admired him for those 2 qualities. They all had rocky beginnings. Sometimes he made friends with people who initially wanted to kill him. Yet, for different reasons, they all changed. They all stuck around for good. And sooner or later, he stuck to it good inside them too. Ooh. Oh, my dog, please stop making it sound like a porn book. I beg you. There's no mention of slongs or them stuffing each other. It was a rich and tasteful poetic metaphors to paint romance, yes, but nothing explicit. Well, okay, I admit all those metaphors were indeed kinda subtle and went way over my head, my still innocent head. But come on, we're adults now. We don't need to pretend they didn't fuck. Yes. But that was not what I wanted you to read those stories for. I know. I didn't read them for that either. Not until I was a teen. Ooh. I read them for the thrill of adventure, the excitement of discovery of the unknown, and the triumph of friendship over overwhelming adversities. I bonded with those heroes. I feel like I became their comrade, and I swear I could even feel their imaginary emotions through my canine empathy. They fought all those awful monsters and those cruel villains, and they brought people together, liberating them, gave them hope. There was so much going on with each tale. Every time I went through one, I thought that was the absolute peak of storytelling, and nothing would be able to match that excitement again. And then the next story turned out to be even better. And I was so engrossed in it all, I got caught by surprise when the flame of my candle flickered and died, reaching the end of the wick. For the next few nights, I would always ask my caretakers to leave me a lit candle, under the pretense I was having a better time falling asleep with it. Seeing how much secrecy the tangle roots put into past me that tome, I never told anyone about it. It was my greatest secret. I'm not sure if that's a typo or if that's, one of these eloquent turns of phrase of the medieval period in high society. And it was so exciting. Oh my, yes. I know how that must have felt. Simply remembering those nights when my brothers and I read the same stories in secrecy in our own childhood. It makes my heart swell with such sweet nostalgia. Wonderful to hear it impacted you so deeply as well. I've never read that book. I'm really curious. Sounds fun. Oh, it is. You should experience it when you have a chance. I wouldn't mind revisiting it. What a nice thought, indeed. You don't have your copy of your own anymore, do you, Burry? Maybe we can get you one somewhere. Unfortunately, I have not seen one for sale anywhere, at least not in Morsterbrook. I'd probably buy one if I had the chance, but I could ask the Ashen Tales to bring us a copy next time they come here, if they happen to stumble on one down the road, maybe. Are they the one with the nice, sexy German, but not German, but Doberman guy? Sorry. Stop thinking about sexy Dobermans. It is fine, Max. Pay no mind to my rambling. I am not a child anymore. Besides, we have the real moon here. Yeah. But it's important to you. I'd like you to have it in your collection. I'll ask around. No, it's fine, honestly. Maybe that would even feel wrong. Even if I get another copy, it would not be the same book. I wonder if Aelon might have the book. Who knows? There's so many fantastic tomes in the Monastery's library. Many of them objectively written even better than the Noon Moon's fables. Nuna's fables. That's another typo. Boop. But I took that one to travel with me because it was special to my family. The stories were one thing, but that book itself was no less than a magic artifact to me. It brought us together for those unforgettable nights in our formative years. But time passes, childhoods end, treasures get lost or left behind. But as long as we do not give up on living, we always inevitably find new things to cherish. Just like the flesh of my brothers, just like the flesh of my brothers is no more, I still keep their hearts anchored to mine. And though the book itself may be lost somewhere in the royal castle, both its words and memories shall remain etched to me in the same place as my brothers are. So many things in life hold value precisely because they never last. Life itself is like that too. And that's fine with me. Drinky time? Hey, what are you doing with that bottle, Elon? That's disgusting. Who the hell brewed it? Oh, come on. Give it back. Max gave it to me as a gift. Whatever. Here, take the disgusting thing back. I just want a jug. You should have at least pretended you listened to Burry. Ah, he put it in the rat hole. Elon, even with rodent mana, I'm not sure you can access the holding seal inside shelter. Actually, on that damaged part of the wall, he could probably. You're mine. Fur and claws on the wolf's hand still shine with magic when he pulls his hands out of the crack in the wall. The item in its grasp still solidifies in its form when he pulls it on the dry edge of the bath, or puts on the dry edge. He pushes across the smooth tiles with just enough force that it slows down and stops an inch away from Burry's shoulder. That is a really nice book, even though it's supposed to be ruined. It's a book with pressed and embellished. Oh, I guess he might have fixed it up. Oh no. Pressed and embellished leather cover, silver clasps on the corners. Nothing like the boring cover Elon described in this story. I swim towards Burry to look over his shoulder as he carefully unlatches the lock of the cover and opens the tome. He yelps and covers his mouth, staring at it with wide open eyes. The first page of the book shows an illustration of the campfire scene, just like Elon described. And there's a small smudge over the letters, just like he described. Burry flips one page after another, touching all the familiar crumbles and tears. He sniffs it, still in disbelief. This is... You kept it. You kept my book. You even replaced the cover. Oh my... Yeah, whatever. Take it back. I don't want it. Thank you. Thank you, King... Call me that again, and I'll heckin' ruin you. I swear to dog. Stupid. And what are you grinning for? Stop it. Oh, nothing. Don't smile so sincerely. I didn't do that to make him happy or anything. I just hate the thought of being in dead to him. That's all. I did it for myself. It was a matter of pride. I don't even like that book anymore. Also, what's with the embers? Hey, is it just me, or did the water suddenly get cooler? We stare at Burry as he holds the gift with both hands, leaning his forehead against the cover. He tries to silence himself from crying, but it is very clear how deeply affected he is by the reunion with his book. A thin layer of crimson crystals sprouts from the point of contact between the book and its claws, and the mirages of magic frost dance in the water around him, with constantly forming and fading images of the 11 ice wolves. Chance, Trip, Dexter, Ace, Zane, Rocco, Harvey, Coda, Arlo, Ringo, Gus. All of them manifest in those ethereal reflections, and, in my mind, I can almost hear them howling. Finally, Burry calms down. The magic subsides. Oh, it's his eyes. He takes his face away from the book and smiles. There's warmth in his expression I've never seen in him through all these years I've known him. Never. Thank you. Elon. Sad. Yeah. Listen. I don't want to state the obvious, but you do realize the story's supposed to be about me, not you, right? Yes, of course. My apologies. Please, continue. Where was I? Oh, right. Night after night, I'd read the book in secret, a few chapters at a time, in part because those adventures fed my curious puppy mind, and in part because it seemed to resonate with me on a deeper level. I had a bit of a crush on Noon. He was quite the charmer with a pure heart, and the slow-burning romance plotline with his best friend kinda just felt right. For those of you who don't know how the story goes, the book starts by describing the dawn of recorded history. All 6 realms of the world, each a home to different magic and different people, are separated by impenetrable magic barriers, the glass. The canine hero, Moon, gets born with the power of crossing the glass. He goes on a journey, meets people, sees places. Then, shit happens. A lot of shit happens. And, by the end of his adventure, he and his comrades shatter the glass together. That sets all the people free to migrate between the realms if they so choose. But that also gives birth to the very threat of corruption. Because of that, some call Moon a villain. But most celebrate him and his friends as heroes and saviors. Monsters or not, the hearts of men can't help but yearn for freedom. Moon's life eventually draws to a close, and some years later, Noon, the German Shepherd dog, gets born into the world, now exploring the freshly acquired library. He goes on his own journey, makes his own friends, and by the end of it all, at the time of their greatest need, he awakens the full extent of the old Moon's might, and he was unaware at the time that he was in fact the reincarnation of the great hero of the past. However, with that power comes the end of his individuality as Noon. He takes the name Noon Moon, and after saving the world-ending threat and drawing his journey to its close, he leaves all of his comrades, never to be seen again. And that's how it ends. The author of the book tried to give it a bittersweet spin, but all I felt was just the bitterness. The snowdrop scene. That was when he bid farewell to everyone. I think the flowers were supposed to be a metaphor to a new beginning, the end of winter and all that. But to me, they have a more sinister meaning. Noon was just like that snow at their feet. The snowdrop waited underneath dormant all the time, while they were destined to pierce sooner or later, spelling the end of winter. Just like Moon always sleeps within its new carnation, threatening to take over at any time. As I read the epilogue of Noon Moon, turning around and leaving everyone behind, I could literally feel the pain of his lover. The ending hecking ruined me. I couldn't sleep for the rest of the night, and I was desperate to find out more. I wasn't ready to part with Noon. So, after the whole sleepless night, one of my caretakers came to my room and saw the sore state I was in. They tried to summon the doctors, afraid that I had fallen sick. However, I halted them, instead ordering to summon Sir Healer to my chambers. I was really desperate for any leads to find out more about Noon. No matter how improbable it could be. The name in the book's Arthur was Bramble Blue Healer. Sir Healer was from the same clan, so... Wait, I was wondering about that. Sir Healer, do you mean... Here, all of you call him by his chosen name. Whoa, no way. You know Thistle too? You know, he used to work in the castle, Luke, and told you. Wait. Oh, maybe he wrote that book like years and years after the thing, because I was like, oh, the books are written around that time, right? It's like, but that would be like a long time. He ain't that old. Yeah, but I didn't know he knew Aelon personally. Is there anyone in Shelter you don't have an unexpected past connected to? What about Max? I'd have to assume Rune would be one. Come to think of it, not that many. A pretty bustling social life for a lone wolf, huh? Yeah, whatever. I knew Sir Healer, yes. I knew him and I summoned him for a chat. He immediately asked if I had any new dreams for him to record, but it didn't take him long to realize something was wrong. So it was he the huh. He took some convincing to make him it wait, he took some convincing to make him stay and talk with me instead of rushing for the doctors. I asked him to sit down with me. I told him about the book. His eyes widened in shock, and inquired for more information, but he quickly apologized and cut me off. He offered to take the book off my hands and hide it, begging me to trust him and his tutors with their choice of curriculum. There would be the right time for those topics, he said. But I was stubborn. I ordered him to tell me what he knew, yet even that didn't bring the results I wanted. Unlike Noon and Moon, Sir Healer wasn't a reincarnation of the old Bramble, he said. Sir Healer wasn't. He had no recollection of events witnessed and recorded by him. Having one's reincarnation loop exclusively closed to only one species was a very unique feature, and Moon was the only living canine still holding such a blessing. Wait, I mean, now, when we mean species, do we mean like German Shepherd and Great Dane? Or are we meaning like dog and wolf? Or are we meaning canine and like ungulates or lizard people? The moment he said that, he instantly grew pale. Fear and guilt spilled from his mind and washed over me in piercing cold. He realized that, in his nervousness, he said something he shouldn't have. I wanted to pull on that thread, but one of my royal guards came to the room, escorting two of our doctors. One of my caretakers didn't waste time summoning help just in case. Sir Healer bowed and excused himself, walking away in a hurry. I was checked for sickness, but since there was nothing really wrong with me, except for sleep deprivation, they put some herbal medicine in a sausage and asked me to eat it to help me rest. That sounds good. I want sausage. And not that type of sausage. I mean, I do want that type of sausage, but you know what I mean. I think with that, we might call it because we're getting close to time again. And, I wonder how long this route is, We'll have to see. So, that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. So, comment, guys. I like comments. Don't you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and likes it, then please like, subscribe, and check out the video step it. And please remember to spend your animals to help control the pet population so it doesn't grow. And if you want to play this game, it's available free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and get the newest version earlier, then you can go with Patreon, where it's $5 a month. And until next time, Let's Play me, GamerWolfSix of Shelter. So thanks and see ya.